Life is pain. Anyone who tells you differently is trying to sell something.
What you think is interesting about your story is not what other people will think is interesting. What you think is uninteresting about your personal story is what others will be interested in.
Arms looking decent. That's what I'm talking about, baby!
In the documentary, there is video diary footage that I filmed.
Oh, really?
And what I was doing, there was a reason for it. And the reason was so after that last experience with the therapist, I was like, fuck therapist. Like, they suck. Like, and also at this time, by the way, I thought having a college degree meant you were smart. What did I know? You know, like, and that they knew more than me. Just like, you have a degree in this, so you know more than me. Not necessarily. And so I was like, I'm done with therapists. All they do is listen to what I say and tell me shit. And then I come to my own conclusions. And I'm paying for it. Fuck that. So what I started doing was I would film myself every day. I would do a video diary. And I would talk about how I was feeling, issues, whatever. And then I would go back later, watch it, and then try and self-assess and detached from that immediate moment, and then try and watch it like I was a therapist watching someone else. And then that's how I would figure out patterns and stuff that I felt were, I'm seeing this is reoccurring.
I've actually thought about doing that, believe it or not. How would you start it?
Hey, Tyler, it's you again. No, I'm sorry. Go. I joked.
Seriously, though, because I'll procrastinate it. I haven't done it, but I've wanted to do it.
No format. Turn on one of these things and just, I'm not joking actually when I say, hey, Tyler, it's you again, but you already know that. Like, I would start with a joke. That's just me. And then when I watch it later, obviously I thought I was hilarious, but...
How long would these be?
Depends on how long I felt like talking, till I just... It could be 2 minutes if it was something small. It could be 20 minutes. I don't know what the longest one was, but it was just as long as I felt like I had something to say.
Would you think about what you're going to say before you turn the camera on? You would literally just set the camera down and talk into the camera for X amount of time.
Yep.
What would wrap it up?
Just when I felt like...
You got it out?
When I felt like I had nothing more to contribute, I'd shut it off. Or, I mean, not contribute, but just get out, I guess, like you said. Like, okay, it's out. Then I'd stop it. Yeah. I'm sure the longest one was probably a fucking hour, but it's just like anything, Those videos, dude, when they, we filmed the documentary for a year and a half. And the director was like, man, because he was editing, and he's like, I'm happy with what we're, the message and everything. There's so many things you say. I wish we could go back to you during that time, post-injury. And I was like, we can. And he's like, what? I didn't tell him. I mean, I filmed it for me.
Holy shit,
never thought
they didn't even know you were doing this?
I had no idea. I literally, no idea.
How long have you been doing this?
Now I do it much less frequently, but at the time I was doing it every day.
How many?
4 years.
How many?
There's like 1,000-ish.
How do you store them?
On external hard drive.
Did you date them?
Yeah. When I had to go through them all to give to the documentary, I did a much better. There was no organization before that, and it took a fucking long time to go through. But there's some stuff on there that I wouldn't even watch now, you know. Just fucking, just broken. Just fundamentally broken. And it's just sad. It's like watching, it's you, but it's not you, you know? But yeah, I was like, oh, I got these videos that I was doing, and they're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. Like, would you give them to us? I was like, sure. And you know what the crazy thing is? This is crazy. When I had to watch them all before I gave them, because I had to make sure there was nothing like that I shouldn't put out on there. And
you watched all those?
Yeah.
Over again?
Yeah. It was not a fun process at that time. And I mean, I remembered a lot of shit that I completely forgot about. But I would be watching and I'd be like, ooh, man, this is important. And I like logged all the important stuff, basically. Anything that was, you know, it had to have it had to have like me transitioning, you know, it couldn't be about, you know, me getting in an argument with my brother, you know, as an example. Not that happened, but you know what I mean? It had to be relative. So I had to go through and make like timestamps of all the relevant shit and then pull the footage and then I sent it. But the stuff that I was like, this is by far going to be in it. This is really important. Good shit. Not in the movie.
Why not?
So stuff that I was like, this is not important at all, but you know, it is relative to the documentary, so I'll include it, but it's not going to make it. That's all in the movie. And it taught me something. What you think is interesting about your story is not what other people will think is interesting. What you think is uninteresting about your personal story is what others will be interested in. Dude, there's like a moment in the documentary that's nothing to me. I shouldn't say nothing, but it wasn't meaningful. Dude, I've had hundreds of people tell me that really fucking affected them.
What was it?
So I'm on the computer. I'm filming. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, I'm doing a diary, and I don't remember what I'm talking about, but I'm talking about how fucked up I am. And while I'm filming, my dad calls on the phone, and I answer. I didn't stop filming, so I answer it, and you don't hear his side, but you get what he's saying from me, which is, you know, he's like, oh, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. No, I'm doing good. You know, it's total fucking, I'm fucking just talking about how fucked up I am. And my dad calls me and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good, Dad. Great. No issues.
I could definitely see that.
That moment didn't register. I think when I watched it, it just was like, you know, I didn't really.
Is there anything specific that you wish was in the movie that didn't make it?
I mean, there's several diary things that I don't remember exactly what they were, but there was at least 20 things that I thought were very important.
Would you want to put it in this episode?
Oh, fuck, I'd have to go through and see if I can find them. Sure. I don't care. I'll do it. I just have to see if I labeled them well enough to find those things. Does that make sense?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you have one, I'll put it in right now.
So then Jason brought up the fact that I'll probably get medically discharged, which again was interesting. Never really considered that. I mean, the hand's looking good for the arm. I'll show it a little bit better in a minute, but You know, the hand's still not really functioning. That's about the movement I can get out of it. The arm, still got the lobster claw. That's the extent of it. Arm's looking decent. Want to see the guns? That's what I'm talking about, baby! I have this time to find myself, but I don't know what I'm looking for. How do you find yourself when you don't know what you're looking for? What do you find? What do you do? Really dangerous right now. Like, I want to break stuff. I want to scream. I want to jump out the window. I want to destroy things. I want to drive into a wall. I want to fucking get in the car and drive till, I don't even know where I'm at. I want to go drink till I fucking pass out. Life is pain. Anyone who tells you differently is trying to sell something. It's a good quote. It's a good quote.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.